Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whale Nerds Podcast. This is episode number 114. My name is Slater, and I'm here with Adam and Caitlin.
What's up?
Hello.
And we are back.
It's cold here.
After a week.
We did
off.
skip a week. Don't tell anyone.
You just told him. You're fired.
Sometimes
yeah, we took a week off. But exactly. Sometimes you're busy. Sometimes you don't feel well. Sometimes you got life. And that's okay.
Cry.
Oh, there's a lot of crying.
I feel like you cry a lot.
Who? Him,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
I think both of us have been crying lately. More so me, though.
Oh, jeez. Anyways.
Cry City.
Thank you, everyone that listens to our episodes. Especially thank you to the people that support us on Patreon. You guys have been our A1 from day one supporters.
Whoa, dude, spitting bars over here.
And thank you to everybody that comes on trips. If you rate and review the podcast, you're even more so supporting us by sharing your thoughts and sharing your feedback with others so other people can find us somewhere. We should be on a few more platforms pretty soon too. So if you have a preferred platform that we're not on, let us know. But yeah, thanks for following along.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for following along in our whale-filled adventures.
So we have some updates. You can always check out what's going on with us on our social media pages or on our website, thewhalenerds.com, or on Instagram and Facebook. It's at Whale Nerds. We are just announcing as this episode's coming out that the San Juan Islands trip is actually postponed because we got a really cool opportunity to do something else.
2 reasons, though.
Yeah, 2 reasons.
Yeah.
You go.
Not just because of the cool opportunity, but because of the cool opportunity.
Yeah.
That sent it over the edge really fastly.
Yeah.
But it was a slow start to the bookings too.
Yeah.
And we actually want to just like kind of revamp it a little bit more and for next year. And so we locked in pretty much the same dates, but we'll keep that up. Right now they're shut off, but they will be back online probably soon. And we'll be booking for the 2023 fall season.
Yeah, it will be the same weekend, but the next year. So it's going to be like one day off from the original date. So it'll be the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of October, 2023. And yeah.
All right,
So
who wants to tell him?
I'm
Not
scared.
me. I'm too scared. Yeah.
You know what?
Slater, it has to be you.
No.
Slater, it has to be you. It has to be you.
All right, I'll give them a hint. We're going somewhere that I am going to need more than the amount of jackets I wear here in Monterey.
Barely.
That could be anywhere.
Barely.
Nah, Monterey's cold, dude.
That could be Norway.
It's a place
that could be
where
the
you
UK.
can see penguins.
Oh, yeah, you can only see penguins, or it's the only place you can see penguins. Oh, well,
That's not
South
necessarily-
Africa.
actually, never mind.
Australia.
You can't see polar bears there. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. So
Okay,
anywhere
so
south of
I
like
can't-
the 20th
hold-
parallel.
Hold on, my brain's trying to figure it out. I can't see polar bears, but I can see penguins.
And there's a lot of ice. You have
I'm
to
not
like
saying it.
go to
You got me
Argentina first to get
You
there.
got me stumped.
Oh, I know. South Georgia Island.
No.
No, actually, we're not going
South,
to
more
Georgia
south.
Island. Yeah, further.
We're going to fall off the map.
Yeah, we are. Are you ready?
I'm ready
so
to fall off the
scared.
map.
Okay, we're going to Antarctica.
Woo!
We said it out loud.
Literal dream destination for all
Yep.
of us. Crazy that it's actually happening.
Yeah. So we've been asked to come along as guides with Cheeseman's Ecology Safaris and their Antarctic trip that's going to the Antarctic Peninsula in February and March. And you all are invited. So if you want to come with us, the trip is February 20th through March 9th. And you can sign up with Cheeseman's Ecology Safaris, and we'll have all the links and everything available for you to check it out.
The second you said Cheeseman's Ecology Tours, I literally just got an email from them and it popped up in the top right of my computer.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and you guys have met I guess the owner of Cheeseman's Ecology Tours on the podcast, Ted Cheeseman, who is also a part of Happy Whale, who we've had on here a couple times now.
And if you came in October for our first Whale Nerds weekend, he was on the boat with Ken Sutherland, who is also one of the founders of Happy Whale. So it's going to be a pretty cool trip. We're going to be focused on whales, penguins, scenery. We've got Mark Carradine joining us. He's a BBC guy who's written guidebooks about whales and dolphins all over the world. Some pretty cool people that know things about geology of the area, birds, some videographers, us, it's going to be pretty fun.
Am I going to see a leopard seal or what?
Oh, I'm scared.
Oh, I hope so. I hope one like pops up next to our, like,
I hope it yawns.
our Zodiac next, like the behind the mask video.
I do want to see their mouth, but like from a distance.
No,
their teeth are like bigger than us.
It just looks like a dinosaur, dude. It just looks like one.
It's like a lizard seal.
And if you guys are interested, you can technically join us. I don't know where we'll put it on. I'm sure we'll put on an email blast, a link to the Cheeseman Ecology's website, but you will also put it on social media as well. All of us probably will at some point.
Yeah.
So you can technically join us, and it's definitely a bucket list and once in a lifetime
opportunity.
Yeah.
If you do sign up, or if you have questions or whatever, you can call the Cheesemans group and just tell them that you heard about it from the podcast. And I'm just saying, if we get a friendly whale, everybody in my boat's gonna have selfies with a whale. Because that's what I'm gonna have everybody do. Enjoy your whale for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, now you need to practice your selfie game.
What if Caitlin gets all the muggings?
Dude, I might.
She probably will.
You gotta know, you gotta know how to get in there.
So in a really early episode, I don't even know what number episode, but we had Kate Cummings on the podcast.
Yeah. That was way back.
Yeah. So, well, I guess like 3 years ago.
We recorded that in Margot's studio.
Yeah. Did she come over there?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So, we had Kate on the podcast, and she had just got back from Antarctica, and she had an incredible experience with a humpback whale, friendly humpback whale, like really, really friendly humpback whale that was spy hopping, like, I don't know, a foot from the boat, like just way above their heads. And like, I don't know. It's just that when I saw that video, when I got back, I was like extremely jealous. I was like,
that photo of Kate is like top tier all time photo.
Yeah. Just like seeing her face is episode 15.
Wow.
Way back.
You found that quick.
I scrolled through our list. And then we had Ted much further down the line talking about Happy Whale stuff. But Antarctica is kind of like where he got the idea for Happy Whale. I don't know if he talked about this story on the podcast, but like he was like using a bathroom like in Ushuaia, and he saw this whale's tail as like a picture in the bathroom. And then he's like, wait, I've seen that whale.
It's like,
and that was like the pivotal moment to like make Happy Whale. So
it's a humpback in a bathroom.
He's like, I know that whale. What do we know about this whale? How can we find out about this whale?
I have a feeling we're probably going to talk about Antarctica a lot, just because we're all freaking out like in the next coming episodes.
Yeah.
So
if you want to learn about Antarctic stuff,
maybe we'll do some some stuff on
we definitely
articles
will.
on that. And then we probably will have Ted.
I was gonna say it.
Hit it, Adam.
We'll probably have Ted on sometime in the near future to talk about the trip, and also just some more of his experiences, because he's obviously seen a lot and done a lot. And the Antarctic Peninsula, I still can't even believe it's happening for us. So we're super stoked.
It's fake. It's all CGI.
And Slater might be able to get his dream shot of a humpback next to ice.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I'm stressed out. I gotta go. We do have new merch on the website now.
Yep.
Caitlin's added some more stuff on there, some more I think some new t-shirt. She added a woman's tee now.
Yeah,
right?
V-neck tee. Yeah, it's either like a V-neck or like relaxed neck
like
cut.
a crew neck maybe.
Yeah, we have like the classic standard crew neck and then like more of like a women's cut. But yes, you can check it out on our shop on our website. And then we always have video versions of episodes available on YouTube. Slater almost went over the top for this one and like wore a hat and gloves and stuff to be all theatrical. But
look at I have
two there you jackets. Go. He's got all his
one's
jackets.
Green, you can't see it.
But you can watch them on YouTube. And everything from episode 100 onward is on there in video version, but all the episodes are on there if you just want to like listen to the audio part. So let's talk about sightings. We have like 2 weeks worth.
I feel like I don't.
I feel like I also don't. So
I feel like in one day I got 2 weeks worth, but
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like I've had some really good days. Caitlin, I feel like you just say Monterey and I'll skip this week. Okay, you know, let me hit him with my one story because like a few days ago, before you guys got out, you ended up seeing the same thing as I did, but we got into a big group of Rizzo's dolphins that were spread out. And then it turned into, by the way, there was humpbacks like right next to them too. And then it turned into Rizzo's and northern right-whale dolphins. And then the further north I got, it became Rizzo's, northern right-whale dolphins, and white-sided dolphins. And they were playing with the humpback whales. And that led us to, actually, I was already with the mom and calf. Then we had this mom and calf humpback whale. And I kind of feel like, I don't know what I did. I took a detour or something for a little bit and stayed at the dolphins. And I went back and that calf started breaching, which you were out at that time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Then that calf breached like a few times. It brought so much water up with it though that I didn't really get a video or photo.
Yeah, it's like just a spinning white blur because it, like all the water was coming off of it.
And it was starting to get breezy.
It has a lot of barnacles and its skin's kind of rough. So I think that's why there was so much water.
It's so funny how different like some calves are like super clean and some are just like literally look like there's 86 already.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
there's one poor little calf that has like some raw skin. Like it must have been entangled in something not that long ago. It's like fluke is still really red, but it rolls around and plays a lot, so it must be fine, but its skin doesn't look very good.
And then after that calf breached, you guys actually left out to sea. And actually I left and ran away from them and went out to sea and saw nothing. I was hoping to find blue whales, and then I came back in, and that's when you guys left to go explore too, like take a different route. And I went over to Tim and I was like kind of pointed at Tim. And then I saw the anchovies come to the surface. I could see all like this huge cloud of anchovies at the surface and like 3 or 4 whales lunge fed. And I'm pretty sure Aurora was there because a big chin slap. One of the whales just did a chin slap, and that's Aurora's signature move, if you guys remember from last summer. And that was it. Two or 3 lunges, like back to back to back, like all within like 2 minutes. And then they just like hightailed it into the wind. And I was like, cool. Well, that's a good way to end the trip.
Gotta go.
And then I went in. And so that's like my special trip. So Rizzo's, whitesides, and northern right whale dolphins, multiple humpback whales. And I thought something that was funny was the northern right whale dolphins were bow riding and there was no whitesides around. And sometimes they're not as playful, it seems like they usually let the whitesides bring them over to the boat.
Yeah.
But it was kind of nice to have them come over to the boat by themselves. So that was cool.
Yeah. It's been pretty consistent with that. All 3 of those dolphin species hanging around the last like probably 10 days or so. But lots of mom and calves have started to check into the bay. So we've probably seen like over 10 different pairs now, and some of them have been around every day. And so that's been nice. Fran's been reported in the bay with a calf.
Nice.
Oh, really? We have not seen her yet. We keep checking all the moms we see, and we keep trying to find her. So frustrating because one day we were out and another boat that was only like a half mile away from us was like, yeah, I think we got a mom calf here. And later they post a fluke photo on social media and they're like, this is the mom from our mom calf pair. And it was Fran, and no one said anything because they didn't
Well,
know it was her.
they probably didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
Kate and I were like devastated. And then we've been trying to find her ever since, and we haven't found her yet.
I guess I first met Fran while working with you on the boats. I don't know if you were on the boat, but it was around that time when I first met you that I first met Fran.
Yeah. Well, and her calf is now a 3rd generation Monterey Bay whale. So Big Fin was Fran's mom. Big Fin was a very consistent whale in Monterey Bay. She brought Fran here. And so now Fran's bringing her calf here. So it's cool connection, but I want to lay eyes on her myself. So
we saw Fran on our October trip, didn't we?
No, I think
Inverse, wasn't it?
Inverse, who's one of her buddies.
Usually they're together.
And Flopsy was the hot item that last trip.
Yeah, she was.
I saw Fran at Inverse last summer in the morning, one morning, really early.
Yeah, she hangs out with Lim a lot as well. And that whale's been around. So
hopefully we'll see her soon.
Yeah. But anyways, just a couple other little notes. We saw blue whales off and on a couple times. My guess is they'll probably settle back in soon because this is like the strongest upwelling we've had in Central California since like 2016. So my guess is that we're going to have blue whales around a lot because it's really cold and it's the middle of June. It's like the water's still in the mid 50s. So things are looking pretty good. We had Halo around the other day, and that whale was 2 seasons ago, was like the rock star calf in Monterey.
Yeah.
And it was really friendly at the end of the season. And he was swimming with a different mom calf pair. And like, I guess like 3/4 of a mile away, his mom was swimming with a calf. So Angel Wing has a calf, and then Halo was hanging out with another mom calf, not that far from her. And then we saw a little bit of bubble feeding.
Oh yeah,
last week.
Science.
Yeah, so we had 2 whales. It was Rory and check marks, and they were like just cruising slowly, and then we weren't really sure where they were going to go. So Kate just like stopped the boat and they like lunge fed right off the bow. And we were like, whoa, we were not expecting that. So we like repositioned with the bait ball. And after they went down again, I was like, there's bubbles over here. And then we started to notice it was like actually making a pattern. And then they lunged, and they did that like 6 or 7 times in a row. And like by the 3rd or 4th time, it was starting to be like a full circle of bubbles.
Wow.
And then they would come up and lunge. Just one of them was blowing bubbles. I don't know which one, but yeah,
Imagine
pretty
getting
incredible.
That from the drone here.
Yeah, well, we called another whale watch boat asking if they had a drone just so they could come over and document it. Cause like up on Kate's upper deck is pretty good vantage point, but the drone would have been better because the bubble stream was so small. And they didn't have it. And then by the time another boat got there anyway, they were done. So they did it like,
you just got to get it at the right time.
Yeah. It was like 7 or 8 times in a row. And then the bait kind of like fizzled. So,
Kate's
but that was
the bubble
cool.
feeder master.
Yeah. She's seen it twice now, right?
Yeah. She said the other time she saw it, it was Angel Wing and another whale that I don't remember what she said. Yeah.
It's
so different whales.
They're ID'd whales that are different. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty cool.
This is Halo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite photos I've ever gotten.
Yeah. And then there's this mom calf that had these little kids on the boat. They want to name the calf Peaches. They're very cute children. And so I've been calling the calf Peaches. But the mom, she has like a 28-year sighting history and no calving info.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But she's also only been seen like 14 times in the last 28 years. So she's like
on off years or something.
Oh yeah, I don't think, and she's not a very good fluker. She's really frustrating actually, but we got her fluke today. She's seen off the Northern California, Oregon border, Farallones, somewhere else north of there, Monterey, and then one sighting in Mexico. So
Interesting.
yeah, 28 years, only like 14 log sightings in Happy Whale. And this is their
It's
first
Funny
calf.
how that it's funny how that happens. I remember in the middle of COVID, we went out to run the boat and we got an ID on a humpback. And I can't remember who said it, but like that we logged into Happy Whale and the whale hadn't been seen in like 11 years.
Yeah.
It's just interesting how they can go through those big gaps.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of crazy too, because she had an pretty significant entanglement scars on her tail. And like probably no one ever saw that. Like no one saw that event happen. But she lived and she has a calf.
Lived, obviously. Yep.
So yeah. So it's windy and it's bouncy, but man, I think we're setting up for a good summer.
Good.
Lunge feeding everywhere. 10, 12, 14 of them at once.
We did have one group as many as 5 with Pacific white-sided dolphins a couple of days ago, but it was really chaotic. It was maybe good for like 10 minutes and then all spread out.
Okay. I plugged in my old hard drive yesterday and today, and there for some reason the first thing on the hard drive that's like not in a folder, it just says lunging and it's your video. Do you remember that all day trip? And I had like we had those 3 like photographers on the boat.
Oh yeah. And
they lunged right next to the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4, and then you move this way, and 4 or 5 more are still going. It's like, shit.
I think that I was thinking about that encounter the other day because Gary was on the trip, and he was like standing next to me, and I could see that the whales were about to lunge, and I was like, Gary, zoom out.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Gary, zoom out.
I'll tell you what, man, those all day trips were freaking epic.
Yeah.
We were trying to do them every Wednesday or something, every other Wednesday, or
yeah.
I feel like, oh man, I want to do those all over again. If I could go back to all those all day trips.
Oh, we had the hydrophone and everything.
We had so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, the hydrophone is back, by the way.
Oh yeah, finally the Minbari hydrophone's back online.
Yeah. So if you want to listen to some whales at night, I like it at night or really early morning. 10 o'clock, you could probably listen to some whale, or earlier than that, but usually when the wind calms down,
like 9 p.m. to like 9 a.m. is pretty good usually.
Yeah.
So
before I get on the water and pop some wheelies. I'm just kidding.
Pop some wheelies.
This boat goes so fast now. It's about to go even faster.
I was about to say it's about to go even faster.
Oh my gosh. So we'll see how the summer goes. I mean, it's definitely June. It's foggy. It's still windy and rough. The whales are very sporadic.
But have you noticed that the whales you've been seeing are whales that are from
our
Monterey?
Whales are here. Yeah. Our whales are finally coming
technically
in.
They're not from here, but
the Monterey summer whales are starting to be here.
A lot of names that we recognize.
I think it's a good sign that we're seeing a lot of mom calf pairs every day too, because I think that really means the food is good in Monterey. Because there's some years where I'm like, man, we don't see any moms and calves. There must be a better buffet somewhere else, because they're the ones that are like so strapped for energy. Like they have to be where the food's the best.
Yeah.
So.
Fill the whole bay with anchovies. I won't even be mad. Like fill it up.
Why would you?
How cool would that be?
It's kind of scary though when there's that much bait around.
No, because it would be. Actually, don't do that. Like just football fields at a time. Because then what would happen is like you would be like, where are they gonna lunge? And it's like, oh, over by Santa Cruz.
Or like that one night when every time I put it in gear, the fish all went flying because they're scared of the engine. I was like, where's the whale? And it was just the anchovies reacting to the boat.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. This generation of anchovies are scaredy fish. They're like little scaredy cats.
Oh, white.
Okay. Our topic this week.
What about me?
What?
Oh,
you said you wanted to skip this week.
Now he wants to tell something.
Oh, now you want to say something.
I had a cool encounter. I had one cool. Well, okay, so it's been super quiet
gray
in
whales.
Santa Barbara, but the gray whales are super cool. It's interesting to have feeding gray whales here off the California coast this late into the year. And they've been stationed apparently early on in the season when we were still in like 2.5-hour trips. There was like 40 of them feeding there. So they obviously found a snack along the way. But that Betcher's Bay on Santa Rosa Island, is a super, super cool little bay. It's like has dunes in the background, and it's super protected, so it's always super nice and glassy. So yeah, we had a couple days there. We went and saw feeding gray whales, which is super cool. They're feeding down the mud. You can see them coming up with those mud plumes and stuff. So that was super cool, but they left, so we are whaleless again.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they left. But I will say, since you guys showed me temp break, it's been super interesting to watch the water in the channel, because we had when you guys first showed me it, I was hyped. I was like, oh my gosh. And that was when we had humpbacks around. I was like, okay, it's like 51-degree water, like it's cold, like that nice purple color on temp break or whatever. And then instantly, probably a couple of days after I saw that, it all turned to 64-degree water. So we had this huge influx of warm water, and we've been seeing, I kid you not, like thousands of dinner plate size mola molas. They're breaching everywhere. It's super funny. And we'll see big groups of like 100 or 200 together. So that's been super cool too. And of course, we've had dolphins around and commons and bottlenose.
Nice.
But literally overnight, last night, off of Santa Rosa, the front side, the water dropped again to like 54. So I'm hopeful that it's going to change around here, and it always does, right? It's June, like you guys are saying.
Yeah.
The channel, and it's interesting. Like, I don't know where our Santa Barbara whales are right now. It's just interesting to think about.
I heard a report from secondhand from a fisherman saying there's a bunch of whales up north.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if ours are up there. But I mean, regardless, it'll turn on back on. But it's interesting to watch temp break. So I'm interested to see, like, in the next week or two, if that Santa Rosa area lights up or not, just because it got an influx of cold water. Because the rest of the channel is like super hot still. So, but we'll see. That's Mother Nature for you, right? Like, that's what we keep telling our people is like,
yeah,
hey, we're gonna go out here and do the best we can and try to find these guys. But they're moving around. They're following food. They got their own agenda, whale agenda.
yeah. Do you know, Slater, if Oceanic Society is still running that Farallons trip, or did they switch just the Santa Cruz trip?
I'm not sure.
Because that's who I used to get the report from for what was going on out off San Francisco, is watching their trip reports. But I haven't really seen any in a while, but I know they're trying to do that Santa Cruz Monterey Bay
I
trip.
follow their photographer. I think his name is Reese, maybe.
And because some years, like I'm thinking it may have been 2016. It was like the Access Science cruises that went through there and the Oceanic Society. Like when we had heavy upwelling, it was really cold up there and off Cordell Bank too. And I remember they were reporting like 100+ blue whales, 200+ humpback whales. And then like at some point it like made a lap through Monterey Bay, and like it was pretty nuts, but I haven't seen any reports from up there.
I called Rod and I was like, dude, can I make it to the, I was like, can we get to the Farallon Islands or what? Like on my boat? And he's like, yeah, I'll take a couple days. And I was like, what? And then like we were going back and forth, and he's like, I could do it. And I was like, okay, I'm so confused. And he thought I was saying like San Juan Island for some reason. So I was like, no, dude, like
no,
Farallon. And he was like, oh yeah, we can go there. And I was like, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, we can go there.
I
wanna
love
go.
Rod.
I'd like to go there, but yeah, I don't know. He just posted a picture of a sea lion on the Farallon, so maybe they're still running them.
Yeah, interesting.
I think that Santa Cruz trip is just a one-time spring thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a one-off all-day trip that they try to run.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But this year it was on like the worst weather ever.
Well, I mean, this spring has
everyone's.
just been, yeah. That's just how this spring has been.
We literally got the luckiest 3 days of spring with the whale nest.
I know.
Yeah, honestly.
Totally. Okay, well, we're going to talk about a different kind of killer whale this week.
Good.
That's okay with you. So this paper is hot off the press. It's Movements and Diving Behavior of the Eastern North Pacific Offshore Killer Whale. It's published in Frontiers in Marine Science in May. So it's a collaborative research project with a couple of different groups in Washington. NOAA, and then also the U.S. military provided some funding through an institution in Rhode Island. And just sort of some background information on offshore killer whales. They estimate there's about 300 individuals that use a range of Southern California to the Aleutians, which are the islands off of Alaska. And this is a recap of a study period from 1988 to 2014. So that's 26 years of data collection. So just for reference, that's almost 9,500 days, right? They saw offshore killer whales 157 times in that time period.
Where? Between
so
Southern
nuts.
California and Aleutian?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's like a 0.16% chance of seeing a whale on one of those days. Like,
yeah. Okay. How long were they at sea for?
some of it's opportunistic data, some of it's actual survey data.
Okay.
103 of their encounters were off British Columbia.
Interesting.
So you think that these could be matched to ones up there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're the same, I
Yeah.
think, right?
Well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, do they have any photo IDs? Because then I
Yeah,
have a bunch.
they do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do. So basically the point of the surveys was to get photo identification stuff, but also they deployed some satellite tags. I mean, 7 when I say some. 26 years worth of science, and they were able to deploy 7 tags. This is why marine mammal scientists are like a statistician's worst nightmare. They're like, your sample size is 7 out of an estimated 300 whales, your sample size is 7.
It's tough, man.
So basically the summary of like their data collection effort, they were able to put tags on during 2 encounters with killer whales in California and 1 encounter with killer whales off of Washington State. At different times, their group size estimates were between 6, 9, and 30 whales during their encounters. The tags lasted anywhere from 6 days to 147 days. And they got GPS pings for almost 2,500 locations off those tags. The whales tagged in Southern California went from 30.7 degrees north, all the way up to 59.3 degrees north latitude. That's from like Southern California all the way up to British Columbia.
Damn.
Like Salem is like an hour south of Portland. That's the 45th parallel. So 59 degrees, that's like way up there.
Way up there.
So, and that was 75 days. The whale went from 33.5 degrees north to 60 degrees north. So within most of the California current during that time.
Look at figure 1. It's just crazy to see them.
Why can't they find them more?
Offshore killer whales typically used waters outside the 200-meter isobath, so deep water, 600 plus feet of water. They traveled to the northern extent of the California, or as they approached the northern extent of the California current and traveled into British Columbia and Alaska, locations were more common near or inside the 200-meter isobath. So as they got out of California and headed north, they also came inshore.
Inshore, yeah.
Some individuals that were tagged from the same group in one association, when they put the tags on, those whales split off, like broke away from each other, and then came back together before the tags stopped deploying. And they were separated by as much as 1,300 kilometers. So that's pretty interesting that they spread way apart from each other and then came back together later. They captured over 1,000 dives with the tags, and they were able to sort of figure out that they're diving from like 40 to 100 meters. It was the average, but the maximum dive depth was 480 meters.
Wow.
480 times 3, carry the 1.
1,200
That's deep.
plus 1,300 feet.
Yeah, it's like 1,300 feet.
That's super deep.
That means transients could do it too if they wanted to, probably, right?
Yeah, there's some more data about that later in the paper too. Their dive durations, their average was like 3 to 4 minutes, but they could hold their breath over 12. And
see, that's why offshores are cool, man, because there's so many of them and they don't go down long.
Yeah. And that between the depth and the time, it's saying that they think they're definitely foraging for stuff off the bottom of the seafloor. So.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
They're down there
Pretty
plucking sharks off and rays and whatever.
flippin' cool.
It's just crazy that like things like that exist. It's like that, like type D killer whales, like apex predators that we know nothing about.
I mean, what about like the Koja species? Like
Oh,
they
for
can
sure,
dive
yeah.
deep and hold their breath forever, and then they have an
And just
ink
never-
sac? Like what? Who does that?
Who has an ink sac? Not me.
I'll tell you what, when we get to Antarctica, we're gonna see type A, type B, type C, type D.
I think
We're
we'll
gonna
see
If we
type
see
them all.
type Bs.
if we see any orca in Antarctica,
Adam's
that'd
gonna
be
scream so loud they're gonna hear him on the North Pole.
cool.
Oh, gotta go
Across
around
the
the back,
entire
dude.
planet. Just go the backside. Right there.
No, you know what? That would be insane.
Imagine 4K 120 of a freaking orca with a freaking
Oh,
weird
why do we
saddle,
not-
weird eye patch, and like diatoms on it with ice in the background coming up. Oh my
No,
God,
I wanted
lose
to
it.
come up with a spot. I want
Spy-
Danny's
Dude.
picture with the common mer, but I want it with a
But it has
penguin.
Oh no.
Yeah, you
You're
take all the
getting-
penguins you
You're
want.
getting so greedy. Okay, anyways, let's get into this here.
Okay.
So the first time offshore killer whales were actually documented as like a separate ecotype was in 1988. That's why this paper like spans that whole data period.
35.
And one sighting was as far offshore as 250 miles off the Oregon coast. But important habitats have been identified as Haida Gwaii, outside of Vancouver Island, Quinault Canyon off of Washington State, Monterey Bay, California, and Moresby Trough off British Columbia. So up off of like Canada and Washington, like the Canada-Washington border. And then Monterey Bay is thrown in there for funsies. I mean, not for
they do
funsies.
get
They're
hap-
seen there a lot.
Yeah, I've seen them how many times since living here?
I think, have you seen him 3 times?
Why do I think I've
More
seen
than
him 3
that.
times? No, no,
Four?
no.
With
I think-
me? You
And with
saw him
me,
on your own boat?
when I found him.
I thought you
Just
seen
gotta
him
throw that
another
in there. I
time.
found him, you know what I mean? Just kidding. And then I went down to Newport and saw him, so 3 times.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the 2 were in the same year.
Yeah.
2 were like a week apart.
Yeah.
So
Dang, really? I thought it was more than that.
that's why I was like, I don't understand how they're getting. They only saw. That's
Oh, I
like,
guess
how
Blue
did they
Ocean
not
saw-
see them
Kate-
more than that?
Kate saw them in 2020, right? Off of Big Sur.
Oh,
Just like from the beach.
I think
Yeah, I
Tim
think
did,
so.
maybe.
Yeah, I think so. So what the studies have sort of suggested is that there is some seasonality to their distribution. So late fall and winter for California, summer and early fall for Alaska, but then they're seen year round off of Washington and British Columbia.
Year round, huh?
Yeah. I mean, they
What?
said there's a couple like peak months, like it's somewhere in the paper. It's like March and a couple like 2
I
other
need
months.
a bigger boat. We need the Rachel
Uh,
Carson. Just let me borrow
Yeah,
it for a
it's just-
couple of weeks.
March, August, and December is when there are some peaks for British Columbia and Washington, but there is no clear pattern of seasonality, is what the paper says.
Hmm.
So, ship time on a boat like that's expensive, dude. Like,
Yeah,
you got millions you've been hiding from us.
Yeah, and guess what? I'm gonna have a super sick rib that's attached to it, and then it's gonna be lower me in the water, and I'm gonna be hanging out with whatever I want out there.
Wow, dude.
You could
Just
come.
you can just pay to use a big science ship like that. How cool are you?
They'll hook me up.
He just goes, I'm Slay Mofo, and then they
Anyways, okay, so their diet is mostly bony fish and elasmobrinks, that's sharks. Known species are sleeper sharks, spiny dogfish, blue sharks, possibly other carcharodonid sharks, so like tiger sharks fall in that category. White tip, black tip,
Where would they see
the
those
ones with
at?
2 dorsal fins. And they also eat salmon, halibut, and opah. But we know another species. What else do they eat, Slater?
Blue sharks.
No, well, yeah, but what else did you see them eat?
Something with gills.
seven.
What if that shark's looking down on us from heaven right now, and he's like, "Dude, I was a 6 gill, bro."
Can you imagine?
Just kidding.
Um,
Yeah, 7 gill sharks.
Yeah, 7 gill
Probably
sharks.
6 gills too, I bet, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Probably eat great whites.
yeah, probably.
They don't give a rip.
Your sighting where you got the drone footage happened outside of their study period, right? That was like 2015 or 16.
Yeah.
So they
Dang,
wrapped
I
this.
could have made it in this paper.
No, they wrapped up this paper with data from 2014. So you like missed a cut.
Yeah, but I could have made it if they would
Next
have
time.
kept it going.
So, but now we know. So feeding high in the food chain like that obviously leads to much more likely that they're going to have a high toxin load in their blubber. And so some of the blubber samples they were able to get showed really high levels of DDT and PCBs. So, like most killer whales, I would argue,
yeah,
especially on the US West Coast, their toxin load in their blubber is pretty high. Let's see. There was another
that's so nuts.
section here.
But like we have such a even that like our sample size is just along the coast, right? And we happen to tag some that stick to the coast. But who knows? Like they there could be more of them out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, but at the same time, like they do need to eat, so
yeah. But I feel like that
can't be
specialist
that far
diet,
in the middle of nowhere.
That specialist diet of like, yeah, I guess.
Well, but look at that figure. It's right on that shelf, right?
Yeah,
like
right along the continental shelf.
Or it's like between that and land.
Yeah.
So what the heck?
But 300, I mean, I guess. I mean,
I don't get why I don't go out there more.
So
because you get distracted by other whales before you even get out there.
Yeah, some days I don't even go 2 miles.
Yeah. So in their like movement and behavior analysis is pretty cool if you want to read like the individual breakdown of the different whales they tagged. Talk about how like they tagged a couple whales and they spent like the first month together and then they split apart from each other, and it shows like how much they moved. Like these 2 whales they tagged down in California swam all the way to Prince William Sound, Alaska. Yeah, some of them swam to Washington from there and then turned back around. And so it's pretty interesting to read the breakdown of like all the different deployments that they had and like what each whale did, and just really see how much they move. I was maybe going to read the whole thing and I was like, it's like a lot of reading.
No sightings though. You notice that like they don't go into the strait, you know, like seems like, or they at least haven't been seen inside like in the Sailor Sea.
Yeah. Yeah. No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe right on the outside like openings.
The inlet, yeah.
Yeah, like it shows it right at the opening.
Yeah.
But it doesn't show it go up. Think
Yeah,
they know? You think they're like, I've been in there, it's lame.
Like,
but
there's too many other killer whales
but even
in there, probably.
further north, they're going into that.
That would be the ultimate day. Offshores, residents, and transients
all on the same day.
Gosh, imagine.
Could you imagine?
I mean, you probably could do it with northern residents.
You think they're homies?
I mean, I just think that
their sightings,
their range overlaps better with transients and offshores.
Oh, and southern residents go out there too.
That's true. I mean, you could probably get them off the Oregon coast, offshores.
Why don't they just hang out a little bit? Like, you know, just make out with one of them. Make a you never know. They might start making shark eating, salmon eating, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my,
teach them a thing or two. Like, you know, when you kill that harbor seal, you could eat it.
Killing
you
that
kill a harbor
porpoise
you
not
could
just for
eat
fun.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So if you guys, I'll link the paper on our Facebook page in the comment section. If you look at the figure 1, it like shows the maps, and then you can like read the breakdowns and like look at the other graphics they came up with. But it's pretty amazing how much these things move around. And then talking about their dive behaviors, this was the last part that I thought was pretty interesting. So they reference like other killer whales in their same habitat range and like look at how their dives are. Previous dive records for the region are a maximum of 254 meters for transient killer whales. So that's only like 700 100 feet.
Wow.
Right?
You're wrong.
No,
Right.
I don't know if I'm doing my math right.
254 times 3, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
750 feet.
760, yeah.
379 meters for northern resident killer whales. So that's like 1,100 feet. And
So
then,
offshore's the most.
yeah,
deepest.
300 meters for southern resident killer whales. And
Ooh.
then they also had some data to compare with killer whales in the Southern Ocean that regularly dive deeper than 350 meters. They're eating cephalopods and Patagonian toothfish when they're diving to that depth.
We have not seen anything. Like, dude, we have to quit the podcast. We got stuff to
Oh
do.
my
whales to see,
gosh.
places
Hey,
to
but
be.
how many people have seen killer whales hunt a Rizzo's dolphin?
Everyone on those
20?
whale watch boats that day.
Yeah. How many people
That's
saw
pretty
that?
rare.
A lot of people were out that day for some reason.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
They're pretty nuts.
people literally just like don't even understand that, like, the orca, the killer, like they just don't know that there's so many of them. And it's
I
funny.
still get
I
messages
want to
every
make
day
I want.
being like, oh, are you telling me there's only 75 killer whales left in the entire world? And I'm like, no, there's
No.
75 of this population. this
I'm
critically
trying to tell
endangered
people
population.
like I wanted to make an ecotype video, and then I was like, I don't even know all the ecotypes. There's too many.
You should do a video on the 3. That'd be actually really good. You have footage of all 3 of them.
I know. I mean, I did
Think
want to
about
do that.
Who on the planet has footage of all 3 ecotypes of killer whales off the U.S. West Coast, the North American West
Or how
Coast?
about just all 3 in Monterey Bay?
Oh, you actually do have all 3 in Monterey Bay. That's pretty baller.
Actually, I have all 4. I have ETPs, but I don't have any drone footage ETP.
Not in Monterey Bay, though.
Actually, I only have photos of it. Yeah, not in Monterey Bay. But
Richard
that's another
did.
thing. Like, I want to know if they've been here. Or I guess so. They've been here
ETPs?
to Monterey.
ETPs? I don't think so.
Yeah. So
I don't
let
know
me
what's
tell you
up with
something.
that LA
Do the
pod of
offshore
whales.
do the offshore killer whales
Yeah.
know who the ETPs are? Do
Probably.
they know that there's residents and transients and Theodores and Roosevelts? Like, do they know all that?
I think so.
I don't think they know who Theodore Roosevelt is. No.
You don't know if there's a killer whale named Theodore Roosevelt? How would you know?
Yeah. It's like,
Oh, I'm saying like, Teddy, our guy, Teddy Roosevelt. No, I don't think they know who he is.
What if there's a killer whale with that same name?
What if there's one that's as old as it was when Teddy Roosevelt was alive? You never know. Benjamin Button of Wales.
will I
What?
ever see him?
I don't know. Will
Will
you?
I ever see him?
Are they still going to be there when we get
Oh,
there?
Caitlin, you have you seen Offshores, Adam?
No.
I have with you.
Okay, yeah, but has Caitlin ever seen Leatherback?
Wow, dude. Why
Have
are
you?
talking like that?
Yeah, with you.
I know.
For like a second.
like
that
half a
hardly even
second.
counts.
Guess
It
who
does
wait,
count.
wait. Who's the good luck person all of a sudden? I'm starting to feel it. That means I have a sighting with both of you and you separate that.
And you just knocked off the basking shark. For a while it was Caitlin. For a while it was me, and then it was Caitlin on the East Coast, and
Yeah.
then it was you.
I was the last to be a loser. But Caitlin but Adam also has Southern resident killer whales with me. That's so random. Like, imagine you were there that
rare,
day.
dude. That's so it makes
Yeah.
no sense to me. Still makes no sense to me. I remember Caitlin was coming back from Baja
Baja.
from petting a whale. And
I
she
was sitting
so
in the
mad at us.
airport in La Paz.
And she
You're
was
probably
so
like-
mad at us.
I was like,
That's what
why
I
are
would've
we
done.
here? Why am I not there?
Like, wow, petting gray whales is so lame compared to seeing residents in Monterey. No, I would have much rather pet gray whales.
That was a pretty cool day though.
That's pretty insane.
Well, thanks for finding that article, Caitlin.
Yeah, dude. 480 meters. What a crazy dive depth.
It's crazy that they out of 9,500 days, they only saw them 157 times.
I mean, they weren't out every day.
I know,
Obviously,
but
it's
still.
just like you just really get a sense of like how astronomically low the
What was
odds
that?
are.
9,500 days? How many years is that?
You know,
26 years.
with all the like mega yachts in the world and all this stuff that just go from here to Washington whenever they feel like, or you know what I mean, down in
I think
Newport,
they
and
see
Yeah.
some-
you'd think there'd be some cell phone footage coming out of things.
Yeah,
Like-
but like if you are say you're just transporting a vessel, right?
Yeah, you're not stopping.
You don't know who to send that to for that area.
Yeah, I'll bet you a lot of these captains have cell phone footage of stuff in their pockets, and they're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
they
this
show
is
their
cool.
mom or their wife, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like when Johnny and I
Show
delivered that
us.
boat down the East Coast, it's like I would have taken the time to look up who to call, but like all those other people that are delivering yachts on the same route as
Don't
us, they
care.
didn't care. They're like, oh, cool, we saw dolphins, or like we saw a whale, and it's like that was the extent of it.
Well, what the heck? So get me a super yacht.
Maybe you should just, be a required observer on a offshore transport like that.
Yeah, dude. Be an MMO.
A multiplayer, a massive
Marine
multiplayer
mammal
online game. Massive multiplayer
Or that.
online.
Or that.
But
Pretty cool.
I think
I'm gonna
it's
get
cool.
my helicopter license. We're just gonna
I
cruise.
want to see them.
I also think it's cool that Monterey is like one of the few places that they have any
You can
regularity.
actually see them. Yeah. You guys always say fall, winter,
Yep.
and it's been true the past couple years.
I really think we got to get to Haida Gwaii. Seems like some cool stuff happens there. Offshore killer whales, North Pacific right whales. I mean,
don't
this
even know.
seems like they got some cool stuff going on
I
out
don't even
there.
know where that is, dude.
In British Columbia, dude.
You got to do a lot in British Columbia, apparently.
We got to go at some point.
A haiku poem.
Haiku poem. All right. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Get
Come
your
to
jackets ready.
Antarctica.
Yeah, get your
Rate
jackets
and
ready.
review-
Get your stocking caps. Get your gloves. Get your boots.
That'd be so
Gators.
cool. If any of our people that have been on our well nerd trips came, that would be
That'd
amazing.
be awesome.
Come out with us. Go to
Please.
Antarctica. Make your dreams come true. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it.
Is that
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf?
Sound like a Nike commercial.
With the Shia LaBeouf. You know, I used to act. I used to go to the same acting school as Shia LaBeouf. He never.
Yeah, like not when he was there.
Yeah, he was there. I was
At
like
the
6 years
literal
old.
same time as you.
I was literally 6 years old.
Whatever.
Adam's like, they're great. It's doing Foster Face commercials.
All right, we're getting off topic. Time to end this.
Okay, time for the serial podcast.
Thank you so much for listening. If you don't follow us on social media, it is Whale Nerds on everything, but our website is thewhalenerds.com. And Caitlin writes blogs and stuff because she's a boss, and she'll put a bunch of descriptions and links on, or not descriptions, a bunch of links from the articles on Facebook.
Mhm.
And Adam posts on Instagram, and we do all sorts of
Sometimes.
stuff.
Yeah. Thanks.
Follow us.
Rate and review the podcast.
Bye.
Deuces.